Hey, you! Are you still hanging on to your job? How many times have I advised you to quit and become a devoted full-time housewife for my son?
Oh, hello, Clara. Great to receive your message as well. I hope you can empathize with my perspective when I say this, but I've repeatedly expressed my lack of interest in giving up my job and becoming a housewife. By now, I had expected us to be in agreement on this matter. Furthermore, Ken has no objections to my job, so I fail to comprehend the concerns. To be frank, I believe this matter should be resolved between my husband and me.
Excuse me? What do you mean, Nishi? You are aware that people are labeling you as selfish because you haven't quit your job to take care of your little girl, right?
What? But I genuinely don't believe I'm being selfish in any way. How could anyone see working diligently in a job that supports your family as selfish?
But have you considered the impact your job will have on little Lucy? It's possible that she feels neglected and unloved because her mom is working. Consider the potential long-term effects this could have on her as she grows older. You will bear full responsibility for whatever befalls her in the future. Are you okay with that?
You think my child is going to grow up to have lots of issues all because her mom had a job? I really am not seeing the connection there. I'm sorry. Everything I do, I am doing for Lucy. Her well-being is always at the front of my mind, okay? Besides, I'm still with her throughout the day, you know?
But what you're doing isn't enough for her. Kids are super keen on these kinds of things and can be really sensitive to a lack of attention from parents. You need to be spending a lot more time than you think with your children, you know? I bet your poor little girl is so lonely without having you around the home to take care of her.
I'm sorry, but I just really don't think a lot of what you're saying is necessarily true. Besides, it's not like Lucy is ever really left alone at any point in the day. After all, she is about to start going to preschool with lots of other kids. And when she does start preschool, then I'll be taking off work early every day to go and pick her up.
And I'm telling you right now that this is still not enough for her. And your poor little girl is just too much of a sweetheart to say anything to you.
Are you sure that that's really what's going on? Anyways, it's fine because Ken is always helping out around the house too. And when I can't be with Lucy, he always makes sure to spend lots of quality time with her. She always seems to be having a lot of fun when they're together.
And you think that's a fair burden to put on my poor son? Don't you know how busy he is with his work? He deserves to rest when he comes home. But now you tell me that you're too lazy to be a parent to your own daughter, so you make Ken do it? Don't you know that it's the woman's job to raise the kids and manage the home?
I'm really sorry, Clara, but I just don't think we share the same beliefs on that topic. Besides, I think that times have changed and that mentality is a bit outdated. If a couple can hold jobs together, then they can raise their own children together. After all, it's their child, so isn't it only natural that both parents should have a role in raising it?
Well, here in my family, we still respect traditional values and don't think like that. I don't care what the rest of the world is doing. My family, my rules. Well, then again, I suppose you are just Ken's wife. It's not like we're really even family. But since you've married in, the least you can do is raise your family how I tell you to.
Don't you think you might be overstepping just a little?
And don't even get me started on the house. I mean, do you do anything to keep it clean? You just let clothes pile up unwashed, dishes in the sink, dust everywhere. Food left just sitting out. I mean, honestly, do you even try to keep your house clean?
I thought you might try and bring up the state of the house. Last time you came over, you did so without any kind of message or heads up. Then you barged in and started inspecting every nook and cranny for things to nitpick. Anyways, that really wasn't appreciated, so please don't do that again.
What could have possibly upset you over my visit? Maybe if you actually kept your home in order, then you wouldn't be upset when guests come over. I didn't tell you I was coming over because I wanted to make a point. And I had to be thorough while I was looking around. Who knows where you might have tried to hide your clutter from me?
I wasn't hiding things, and even if I was, it's my house, and I think I have that right if I want.
Oh, is that what you think, dear? You just didn't want me finding out what a messy person you are. I never wanted you to marry my precious little boy. He deserves a wife that can actually take care of the house like she's supposed to.
Actually, Ken and I do a really good job of splitting the chores. And it is true that sometimes both him and I get a little too busy that the housework doesn't get done. But we've never once let it get to the point where it's become a serious issue. We always make sure the house is clean enough that there is never any danger to our health or anything like that.
Well, I still don't think it's good enough. I can't stand going over to your filthy house. And I just know my little Ken feels the same way. After all, I erased him and always made sure the house was spotless as he grew up.
I really don't think you have to worry about that, Clara. Ken and I talk regularly, and he doesn't seem to have complaints about the way we live.
Oh, my poor sweet little boy. He must try so hard every day to control himself around you. I just wish he would divorce you already.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get a little fed up with this conversation. I would appreciate if you chose your next words very carefully.
I'm just so worried about my little boy. He worked so hard at his job every day and even makes sure to send a little money back home to me. I've heard that you don't send money back to your parents. Is that true? It's never a bad time to stop being a bad daughter.
Actually, I don't send money home to my parents because they really don't need the assistance. Besides, they both still work full-time and haven't reached retirement age yet. I know that you are able to be a stay-at-home mom the entirety of Tom's childhood. But ever since her husband died, you've needed Ken to send money to help you get by.
And I am just ever so grateful to my sweet, sweet son. I did such an amazing job raising him to be the way he is now. Of course he isn't perfect and has made some wrong decisions in his life too. Some small and some not so small, that is. Oh, I should have been there to guide him towards a better path.
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Anyways, it is our house, not yours, so we will continue to do things our way. Please hold back from giving any more comments or criticism about how you think my house is run, thank you.
Excuse me. Just who do you think you're talking to, young lady? If this is how you really act, then I truly do feel sorry for my poor little boy and my granddaughter.
Anyways, I'm quite busy, so I am going to go now.
Hi, honey. Did you and my mom happen to talk a little earlier today? My mom sent a message that was mostly just her complaining to me.
Yes, we did talk. She was asking me, again, if I was sure about not being a stay-at-home mom. She was just talking about how lonely she thought Lucy must be and how dirty she thinks the house is. Just the usual run-of-the-mill complaints, you know?
Ah, I see. I am so sorry you are having to deal with her like that. I've told her so many times that you and I happily split the work and managed the house together, but she's just so sad in her old ways and keeps insisting that all the stuff should be handled by the wife. And then she only blames you and the chores aren't done or the house is a little messy. I've tried explaining how things really are to her all the time, but she just doesn't seem to want to really listen to what I have to say.
No. I understand. It's really okay. Your mom is just the kind of person who really tries to exert her will onto others sometimes. I mean, that's about what I hear from you as well. If I'm being honest, I kind of feel bad for you sometimes too. You're also kind of a victim in this.
Yes, maybe just a little. I'm just sorry that all of her anger always seems to be focused on you, though. I really wish there was something I could do or say to my mom to get her to stop with all this. Lately, I just haven't even been trying to tell her the truth because she's getting to be so much. I'm so sorry I haven't done more to try and stop all of this.
Ken, I said it was okay, and I meant it. I know that you have a lot on your plate and that you're doing your best. And your hard work is really paying off too. I mean, just look at how well you did on that test last week. You're chasing certifications and always moving one step closer to your dream job.
Nishi, that's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. But I really couldn't have done any of the things that I have without you by my side, always willing to help. And I know I haven't made things easy on you with all this. But I promise I'll have some good news soon. All I ask is that you hold on just a little bit longer, okay?
Of course, baby. You know I'll always be cheering you on.
We're going to that barbecue restaurant for a family dinner. We're going to have so much good food. Except for you. You're only allowed to eat from this salad bar.
Excuse me? What do you mean I can only eat from the salad bar?
Well, you're not family and this is a family dinner. That's why I say that you can't order anything off the menu. Only the salad bar. Maybe you can just get your fill off of all the good smells.
What are you even talking about? Don't you think this is just a bit excessive?
And here she goes again, the bad wife always arguing with her mother-in-law and never doing what she's told. I really can't stand you, you know that? Why don't you just go home?
Okay then. Maybe I will.
Good, leave then.
That's what I'm doing. Have a nice dinner.
Hey, you evil witch, what did you say to Ken? He is furious with me right now. Did you know even your own daughter said that she hates Grandma now? What kind of evil lies did you tell my family?
Well, did Lucy really say that to you? I guess I've been raising my kid to be a lot tougher than I thought. Honestly, I'm moved to hear that.
Tell me what you told them. Tell me what you said that made my son and granddaughter so furious with me. I got so upset I had to run to the bathroom. Ken even told me that I have to change the way I talk to you. Can you believe that?
I would certainly hope that that's the least he said to you, Clara. I've been pissed all day because of the nonsense you were spouting at me earlier. So I talked to Ken and told him all the horrible things that you said to me. He seemed really upset with you after I finished telling him everything.
You evil harpy! What lies did you fill my poor little boy's head with? What did you do to my sweet precious Ken?
It was around the time that I was heading towards the restaurant where I thought we would all be eating together. Then, suddenly, I got all those nasty messages from you that resulted in me not even showing up. Well, I explained what had happened to Ken and that I was too upset and had to go home. And I guess that was just about the time that Ken and Lucy arrived to meet you at the restaurant.
So that's why it was only those two who were there when I arrived? And what is this dribble I hear about my son not working right now? You're telling me that my son and grandchild have been living off what you've been bringing home? That can't be. I don't believe it.
Wow, so Ken finally told you what he's been up to, huh? Well, that was unexpected, if I'm being honest. He told me he would wait until he achieved his goal before finally spilling it all to you.
What are you talking about? You talk to me straight right now, or else. What are you going on about Ken's goal? You better tell me.
So I guess this conversation didn't get very far then, huh? Did you know that Ken has always wanted to be a designer? I'm sure you must have known that about your precious little boy, no?
He what? What are you even saying right now? You're telling me that that is what Ken is studying right now? Design?
That's right. He went back to school to pursue his passion for design. And that's why I've been working extra hard to provide for all of my family.
This has got to be some kind of joke, surely? I thought I made sure those silly dreams of his were put to rest when he was little.
Well, for a long, long time they really were. Do you see? You got in the way of your son doing what he really wanted to do. Now I'm working hard to give him a chance to achieve those dreams you made him give up. He's always been such an obedient son, doing whatever you told him to do. Well, I won't be doing the same. Instead, I'll support him all the way while he finds his own path.
You stupid cow. Are you trying to ruin my son's future?
Oh, Clara. Isn't that the exact question that I should be asking you? Always making Ken do things he didn't want to. Forcing him to apply for companies that you picked out for him. It didn't matter as long as your expectations were satisfied, right?
But I had to. Because of that, he had a comfortable salary and a good job with an amazing company. But you made him leave all that behind just so he could chase some childish dream of his? Don't you realize that this will ruin him?
Let me tell you something about his job, Clara. Not only was it something that he didn't pick out for himself and never wanted to do, but every day he would come home late after hours of overtime and constantly look depressed. What I'm doing for Ken, I'm doing because I want him to enjoy his life more. I want to support him the way my parents supported me starting my own business.
But you have to open your eyes. This is the real world that we're living in. And let me tell you something, young lady. The real world does not give one spit about your dreams. What if Ken fails? What is your plan then?
If that's what happens, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But no matter what happens, I'll always be working hard to provide for my family. Because that's what a good husband and wife do. We're there for each other.
Well, that's all well and good for you too, but what about Lucy? Aren't you neglecting her by always working so much? I mean, just look at the state of your house. That is no way to be raising an infant child.
Actually, since I'm working as much as I am, Ken has been taking care of all the housework. Of course, I help him whenever I can since his first priority right now is taking care of Lucy.
What kind of sick family dynamic is that? You make your husband handle the housework? That's just unnatural.
In life there's work, and housework. Since I'm handling the work, Ken is in charge of the housework. But I guess if you think about it, it's the exact opposite of the way things used to be back in your day.
And that's why it's unacceptable. I simply will not allow it to happen.
I don't really care what you think. Lucy is always so supportive of how hard her dad works. And when she grows up and has dreams and ambitions of her own, Ken and I will be there to support her in whatever she wants to do. She's also going to learn from her dad what it means to pursue and achieve your dreams. After all, it's all thanks to the way you raised him that Ken was so miserable for so long.
What did you just say to me?
That's why he is so opposed to raising Lucy the way you raised him. Do you understand everything I'm trying to tell you right now? We are going to do things our own way and make sure our kids are raised the way we want them to be.
You think you can just go off and raise kids without grandparents? You'll regret this.
No, Clara. I think the one who will be regretting how this turns out will be you. I feel like you should know that the allowance you thought Ken was sending you this whole time was actually from my own earnings. But your own sons said it's time that you were cut off. And so from today, you will no longer be receiving your checks in the mail.
Wait, what? Then how am I supposed to live? How am I supposed to buy food? I never had to work before. I was a stay-at-home mom my whole life.
And this is the result of you thinking that that was the best choice for yourself. I guess you should have thought of a backup plan in case things turned out this way. I've gotten as far as I have in life through my own strength, and that's why I will never be a housewife.
Wait! You can't do this to me, I'm your mother-in-law. I was wrong, I understand that. You don't only have to eat at the salad bar. Do you think we could meet in person and talk?
There's nothing else I want to say to you. I hope you lead a life that you can be sure you chose for yourself. I'm sure that's the only way you'll know whether your decisions were correct or not. But in my opinion, I think people who have never worked a day in their life should learn a bit about the real world before telling others how to live. Subsequently, Clara exited the restaurant's bathroom stall and made her way back to her table. When I arrived, she was still seated there, receiving a lecture from her son. Upon seeing Clara, I immediately suggested that she relish the salad bar before joining my family on the way home. We departed, leaving Clara there to contemplate her decisions. Clara encountered challenges while attempting to secure a part-time job to support her new life without financial assistance from our family. I've heard that she is barely scraping by.
I have just completed my work and I am now heading back home.
Hi. I'll be able to finish work on time too.
Excellent. I will prepare dinner and eagerly await your arrival at home. What are your dinner preferences for this evening?
Curry!
Okay. You really love curry.
Your curry is the best. Oh, do we have any meat in the fridge? I believe my mother utilized all the meat yesterday.
I guess there's no more meat then. Since I didn't go grocery shopping yesterday, I didn't manage to acquire any meat. Can I just make vegetable curry?
What? Be real? It's chicken curry or no curry.
I got it. I know you love chicken curry. Once I arrive home, I will proceed to do the grocery shopping.
Sorry, I appreciate it.
I don't have much time to simmer it. Will you be okay with it?
That's fine. I'll eat it again tomorrow night.
Okay. Good luck with the rest of your work. Chicken curry will be waiting for you.
I will work hard for chicken curry. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Max, it's an emergency.
What? What happens? I'm going home now. Sarah is making curry for dinner tonight. Don't complain about her cooking this time, Mom.
We don't have time to talk about it. Sarah!
Sarah's what?
I'm sorry about Sarah. I can't believe she got into an accident.
It was my fault.
How could it be your fault?
I told her to make curry for dinner. Sarah went out shopping because I said I wanted chicken curry. Then she got into an accident and this is my fault.
You don't need to be so sad about it. You worry too much.
I appreciate your consolation, but I'm really not in the mood right now. Sarah died because of me.
Get a hold of yourself. Sarah wouldn't be happy if she saw you like this.
That's true, but I want to blame myself for a little longer. That is all there is left for me to do.
We have to plan a funeral too. We're also holding a wake tomorrow.
I know, but I can't get a hold of my emotions yet.
Sarah would be sad if she saw you like this. Do you want to make her sad?
I know, but I didn't expect you to console me so much. I thought you didn't like Sarah. You two weren't so close although you lived together.
I didn't dislike her. I never imagined anything like this would happen. But we have to accept reality. We can't stay sad forever.
But it happened just yesterday. I can't get over it so fast.
But you have to get over. You have many things to do.
Yeah, we have to prepare for the funeral and everything. We also have to think about the speech for the funeral.
Didn't you forget something important?
What?
The insurance. I texted you to talk about the insurance. I want to know the amount before making a big purchase.
The amounts? Big purchase? What are you talking about?
Be realistic. Your wife is dead. But it was a good thing she died in an accident.
It was a good thing. Are you out of your mind?
You'll receive the compensation and the full amount of insurance because she died in an accident. It was better than losing her due to a disease. You would have had to take care of her in that case.
Wait! Is this some kind of sick joke? I really don't have room in my mind to laugh at your jokes right now.
A sick joke? What are you talking about?
If it isn't a sick joke, what are you talking about? You're talking about the compensation and the insurance when I'm devastated. I'm disconsolate about the death of my wife. It was a good thing? Nothing about this was good. Do you consider me your family?
You're going to give us half of the money because you're our family, aren't you?
What are you reading my texts?
I am. Did you read mine?
Stop talking about it. I don't want to talk about it. Why are you talking about money right now?
We have to talk about it now. I can make a purchase unless I know how much money I'm going to get.
What? Make a purchase? By the way, where did you go? We are prepping for the funeral.
I thought I could buy a new car depending on how much money I'm going to get. I came to have a look.
Wait! Are you serious right now? Your daughter-in-law, whom you used to live with, died and you went to look at a new car while your son is preparing for the funeral?
What? It's better than feeling depressed and not doing anything like you. We have to move forward. We're alive.
I can't believe this. My biological mother is telling me such unethical things without hesitation. And acting unethically.
What? Your father is with me too.
Dad too? What are you two doing?
We've been wanting a new car. We thought the timing was perfect.
Don't you flip and know that you're not supposed to say something so inappropriate? Don't you ever say this in front of Sarah's parents. I'm so ashamed that you're my parents.
Oh well, it's a good thing you have a family. You don't have Sarah anymore, but you have us. It was too bad Sarah died in an accident. And how much is the insurance? I'll get half of it because we're family, right?
You're inhumane.
Whatever. Just give me the money.
Stop messing with me. Enough is enough. You crossed the line.
Why are you mad?
You two are the lowest of the low. You're not my family anymore. I've only had one family, Sarah. You two are just parasites that leech off my house.
That's so rude. That's not the way to talk to your parents.
Say whatever you want. I don't consider you my parents anymore. You're not my family anymore, so don't think of me as your family.
Huh? What are you talking about? We're family.
You asked me to give you half of the insurance when I was devastated. What you did is inhumane. I don't need both of you. You're not in my family anymore. Don't depend on the insurance.
Don't be so cold. So how much are you going to get? We'll split. We'll split it into thirds with me, your dad, and you.
No way. Are you insane? I won't give you a penny.
Not even a penny? You're kidding.
You're the one who's kidding, aren't you? It's only been a day since Sarah died and you're already planning to buy a new car? Are you crazy? You're the ones who's kidding, aren't you? You're a psychopath. Do you not have a heart?
Why are you calling me names? It's not our fault. It's just time to buy a new car.
How is that related to my wife dying in a car accident? You don't understand how despaired I am. Do you realize that I lost my wife?
I know. I'm sorry if I made you upset. We've been so busy thinking about buying a new car. We couldn't shift our focus. I'm sorry.
It's too late to apologize.
Why I apologized, I should be forgiven. Just tell me how much the entrance will be. That's all I need to know.
I told you already. I'm not giving you any money. Not only that, but I also need you to get out of the house.
What?
I don't want to see your face again. Pack your bags and get out.
What? Are you going to kick us out? You can do that?
Why? This is my house. Of course I can kick you out. I don't even want to see your face anymore. Get out!
Cut it out already? We're your parents. It's crazy to kick your parents out that you live with.
I only let you live with us out of charity. I didn't want to live with you two in the first place. You two had to sell your house to pay off your debts. That's the only reason I let you live with us. But I'm not going to let you live in my house anymore. Just get out.
Are you really going to kick us out? What are we supposed to do after being kicked out of the house? Where are we supposed to go?
I don't care about that. You two are in your 50s. You can still work. You're alive. Sarah can't work anymore. We can't even be with each other anymore.
Okay, just calm down. Max, don't kick us out of the house. Family should live together.
I told you I don't consider you my family anymore. I don't care if you two become homeless. Having known your cruelty, I'm so done with you. You two have thought of Sarah as a stranger.
I'm sorry that we hadn't understood how despaired you were. But let's just calm down. Blaming me won't do anything, right? I'm sorry I sent you such insensitive texts.
It was an eye-opener.
What do you mean?
My only family was Sarah. You two only depended on my income. You've never cared about me. I finally realized that you've only been taking advantage of me.
That's not true. We're a fan in unity.
We lived in unity. You always criticized Lisa's cooking and complained about it. She always laughed it off, but I felt bad for her every day.
Did you?
Who would be happy to see their loved one being criticized? I can't apologize enough to her. And I'm willing to pay for it for the rest of my life. I'll cut you two out of my life first. I won't let you two take advantage of me anymore. I can't live with heartless people. Don't come to her funeral. You're disgusting.
Don't be so harsh. We should support each other. We're a family.
The insurance is the only thing you want. You won't get any, so give it up. Bye. Don't ever pretend like we're a family. Go to hell. Sarah, I haven't been able to accept your death. I feel like you'll reply to me again. I'll never forget about you. Thank you for having married me and been with me. Goodbye, I'll try to move forward. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Subsequently, Max's parents attempted to forcefully enter Sarah's funeral. However, the security guards discovered them and ejected them. Consequently, Max's parents ended up without a place to live after being expelled from the premises. Despite their tears, apologies, and pleas for assistance, they received no response from Max as he remained steadfast in his choices, continuously disregarding their pleas. Although Max's complete healing would require some more time, he made the choice to embark on a new beginning, carrying gratitude and love for Sarah within his heart. He intends to sever all ties with his parents completely, and he is actively working towards moving forward, treasuring his memories with Sarah. Cutting ties with such a heartless family was likely the appropriate course of action.
Hello, Ruby. My name is Iris and I am Lily's homeroom teacher. I have an important matter to discuss with you. Do you have time right now?
How did you get my contact information?
I have your phone number listed as Lily's emergency contact, so that's how I can text you here.
Then would it be better to call me directly?
No, I believe it would be better to discuss this here via text message rather than calling you on the school phone. It's about privacy issues. I cannot reach you by phone as it is reserved for emergency situations only.
Huh? Then this is not a good idea. You should not contact me here.
No problem. It's outside of school hours, so talking to you shouldn't be a problem.
I still don't understand exactly why you think it's appropriate to private message me like this. Your argument is not entirely in your favor.
It's okay, don't worry about it. Before that, I talked to Lily and one thing caught my attention.
Did something happen to her on her first day of school?
Well, looks like Lily doesn't have a dad. Right? I would like to discuss with you in more detail here.
Why? It is personal information. I have no obligation to share it.
So you don't want to discuss with me?
Please get straight to the point. Why are you asking me about such a thing? What's wrong with Lily's father not being present?
Well, if your dad isn't around, that means you're a single mom, right?
Yes, that is correct.
I'm sorry to say this, but our school does not accept students who grew up in single mother families.
Excuse me?
We worry about whether single mothers will be able to support their students, especially about tuition. And it is uncertain whether single mothers can adequately provide for their children's education. Our school is very famous. We are proud to serve honorable families in our community. Tuition is also known to be quite expensive. I believe that tuition fees can exceed the budget of single mothers.
I am completely speechless. Is this something a teacher should say? You're basically telling me to get out of this school, right? Just because I'm a single mom? You found my phone number just to tell me this?
Please stop. I am simply trying to explain the reality of things. If this was a problem that could be solved simply by discussion, that would be great, but the reality is different. It will be quite troublesome for us if you cannot pay the tuition fee.
I got it. So by your logic, there isn't a single student raised by a single mother in your entire school?
I'm not sure about that. This is my first time working as a homeroom teacher.
What? Are you serious? Then you were saying that you just graduated from school and have a teaching license?
Correct. Any problems?
Wow, I'm really speechless. You've only been a teacher for a year and you keep talking about all this stuff over and over. You really need to reevaluate yourself.
What do I need to reevaluate?
Isn't it obvious? You clearly despise single mothers.
Isn't it clear? I do not despise anyone. Like I said, I'm just trying to explain the reality of things to you. Our school will be difficult to handle for single mothers.
You're basically looking down on single moms. How is that not clear to you? Your attitude and words are as clear as day.
No, I really didn't mean to belittle you. I was raised by a single mother.
I find that hard to believe.
It's the truth. When I was young, we couldn't afford the school fees I wanted to attend. I spent most of my childhood and adolescence in poverty. I completely understand the hardships of single mothers. They really don't have any luxuries or spare time for themselves. But one day, my mother finally remarried. Since then, my life has changed.
Okay, I understand.
Because I was finally able to have a father in my life, I was able to enjoy life to the fullest. That's why I tell you about this. It is because of my own experiences that I want to give you a warning first.
I understand what you are saying. Is your name Iris? Let me think about it for a bit and I'll get back to you.
Thank you for your understanding.
Principal Jasmine? Can I talk to you?
You don't have to call me Principal Jasmine. No need to be so formal. Anyway, how can I help you?
I want to talk to you about one of your teachers, Iris.
Oh, that's right, the new hire, right? What's happening?
Are you the one who decided to hire her?
That's right. Did something happen between the two of you?
Correct. She just told me that my daughter should drop out of school now.
What? Why is she telling you that?
She said it was because I was a single mother. It is clear in her world that single mothers cannot adequately provide for their children. She said I wouldn't be able to pay the tuition. No matter how you looked at it, there was no way this woman was a teacher. I have never met anyone as rude and arrogant as this woman.
I'm so sorry. This is my error. I overlooked this aspect of her and should have been more careful.
No, it's okay. I'm not here to blame you or anything. I understand you have to interview a lot of candidates, so mistakes will happen. Either way, I want you to fire her immediately. You can do that, right?
Fire her? I get it. Can I ask you something? Did she tell you all this in person?
No, she sent me a private message. She must have found my number listed as Lily's emergency contact number.
That is completely against the school rules. Even if it's not a rule, this is unprofessional. I will investigate this and take immediate action. She will be fired.
She's pretty confident in herself that she won't be punished for texting me privately. I'm glad this problem came up sooner rather than later. If we don't realize this, she's been with the students for a whole year. Who knows what could happen?
Exactly. I completely agree with you. I'm so sorry about all of this. I will take responsibility.
Like I said, it's not your fault. Don't blame yourself.
No, as the principal, and especially the person who decided to hire her, this is my responsibility. I will share what happened with my colleagues to make sure this doesn't happen again. It can take up to a week to complete all disciplinary proceedings, so.
It's okay. You have really changed a lot since we first met. I miss the days when you were really a different person.
All thanks to you, of course I was able to improve myself in many different ways. And as principal, I really need to be able to take care of my school responsibly.
I'm glad you feel strongly about this. Let's talk again later. I look to you. Thanks for waiting, Iris.
Oh? Did you make your decision? That is very fast.
Well, it was a simple decision.
Well, I'm glad you think so. We cannot allow a student to come to our school without the ability to pay tuition. Consider a public school. It will be better financially for you.
You probably don't know this, but I'm the president of the school.
What?
Let me say it again, I am the president of this school.
No, you are not. The president has a different last name than you. Are you a scammer? That's pretty obvious.
I am currently using my maiden name.
Your maiden name? When did you change it?
After my husband passed away, I decided to go back to using my maiden name. But my name doesn't change in the field, so that's why you see something different.
That's interesting. Maybe I've heard something similar before.
I also gave a speech to all the faculty before the opening day. You must have not noticed anything.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, really?
I'm so sorry. I really have no opinion. I'm so sorry. I take back everything I said.
You think it's over just because you apologized and took back your words? There's no way to end things so easily. I'm impressed that you even think you can end things quickly.
No, that's not what I mean.
Do you want to explain? How do you plan to retract your words exactly? How will you show responsibility for your actions?
I was very rude to you, so I want to apologize.
So when you don't know about my position, don't you think that's rude?
Of course not. I did not mean that.
Let me ask you again. How do you plan to take responsibility for your actions?
I truly believe that what I have said is extremely inappropriate and unprofessional.
Do you think they are not suitable just for me or in general?
They are not suitable for everyone in general. I shouldn't have said things like that.
So why would you say something like that in the first place?
That's because I recently had a similar situation with a single mother. That's why I felt the need to mention something like that.
Just because someone is a single mom doesn't mean you have the right to make such comments. You really don't understand anything. You're fired.
What? I got fired.
Correct. Don't make me repeat. Why are you so surprised? I think the results are already pretty clear.
But getting fired for something like this. Why did you fire me? Was it because I said something rude?
No, it's because you used the student's emergency contact number for personal reasons. This is a serious violation of school rules. We cannot have a teacher breaking such rules. I cannot trust you to take care of the children properly.
I think you are exaggerating the severity of this problem.
Also, you don't have the power to convince parents who may be in financial difficulty. That is none of your business. Your job is to teach and guide students, not follow everyone like a loan shark. Your comments are rude and you have blatantly belittled me for thinking that I cannot afford the tuition fees. There will be a disciplinary meeting, but the outcome will be the same. You're fired.
But I have a reason for my actions. I experienced being raised by a single mother. That's why I want to discuss them.
Yes, you already mentioned this.
I know, but I want to reiterate the fact that I can't go to the school I want. I worked extremely hard and finally got my teaching license. That has always been my dream. So why can't Lily afford to go to private school?
I understand your frustration, but are you jealous of my 6-year-old daughter? You, a grown woman, really need to reevaluate your choices in life.
But I wasn't as lucky as Lily growing up. I have to wear my old school uniform.
But even then, you can already become a teacher. It's great that you've worked hard towards your goal.
It is true that I worked very hard to achieve my goal. But since I couldn't afford most things growing up, getting a decent education was difficult. I can't afford to go down the normal route of going to college and getting a degree. It was extremely difficult for me. I worked hard every day just to try to get where I am. What about Lily?
Ah yes, now I understand why you would be ridiculously jealous of a 6-year-old. You are not mature at all. Are you still at school?
Huh? Yes, I'm still at school.
Please leave the school immediately. If you try to stay, I will call security.
What? But why?
I think it's pretty clear. You've just started working at the school, so you don't have to do much for a break from teaching. There is nothing for you to pass on to your replacement. You also do not need to notify your students. Please leave.
Are you listening to anything I say?
Yes, but that doesn't change the fact that you will be fired immediately.
Do you know how hard I worked trying to get my teaching license? To get to where I'm working right now?
I heard. It has nothing to do with my final decision. Principal Jasmine has been my friend for a long time. She also has a similar background. She grew up in poverty and suddenly lost her mother when she was in middle school.
What?
But she also worked hard, working part-time jobs while studying to become a teacher. She is one of the hardest working people I have ever met. She entered college on a scholarship, graduated with honors, and is now finally a principal. Unlike you, she never tried to brag about how hard she worked. She never asked for pity. She just looks forward and works tirelessly for her dream of becoming an excellent teacher.
But I'm not trying to brag.
I know that everyone has their own circumstances. Of course, it makes no sense to try to compare who worked harder or who had a tougher childhood. But the fact that you are comparing yourself and being jealous of a 6-year-old is a shameful thing. Everyone at school works harder than you. Don't try to put yourself in a pitiful situation.
I'm so sorry.
Now if you understand, Please leave the school now.
Hello, Mrs. Ruby. I am Iris. It's been a long time since we last spoke.
Are you still using your student emergency contacts to contact parents? I'm amazed by your audacity. It sounds like you haven't thought about your actions for the past 6 months.
I'm so sorry. But there is one thing I really want to discuss with you, and I have no other way to contact you. Is it true that I have been blacklisted by all schools in this area?
Exactly.
Why? No matter what school I applied to, I couldn't even make it past the resume round. Please don't tell me you told all the other schools why I was fired.
Exactly.
But why are you saying all that?
Do you have any other questions? Otherwise, our conversation is over.
I beg you, please. I don't have anything other than my teaching license. If I can't get a job as a teacher, what else should I do in life? I can't be banned from being a teacher.
What are you talking about? You are not limited to finding other jobs. There are a lot of people out there with teaching licenses who end up being successful in other disciplines. You have a college degree and you are still young. I am sure you will have a suitable job.
How do you even have the qualifications and authority to do such a thing? How can you simply decide how someone is going to live their life?
Oh my God. Sometimes you say really interesting things. It came from someone who judged me and tried to teach me how to live my life. Then, Iris hit a roadblock in her educational career. She finds a part-time job at a school, but things quickly go awry when she becomes jealous of her colleagues. She is eventually fired. After a while, she settled into a job completely unrelated to the education field. I actually feel a bit bad for her because of her false beliefs and sense of entitlement. But of course, there was no way I could overlook her actions, especially given my position on the education board. Hopefully there aren't any kids at her new workplace for her to be jealous of.
Hey, babe. How did the second day of your business trip go? Is it really hot where you are?
Yeah, it's awfully hot today. I should have foreseen that when I reached a town at the bottom of the cliff. It's been raining all morning here, so the humidity makes the whole place feel like a sauna.
That sounds terrible. Are you done with work today?
Yes. I returned to the hotel and showered immediately. Have you eaten?
Have you eaten?
Yes. I went to a store nearby. Don't worry.
Remember to eat something healthy? I guess it's exhausting to get food outside in this weather.
Yes. It's so hot now that I don't even want to go out. It's only the second day and I already want to go home. How's Como?
He is doing great. He is very active.
After all, he is a growing boy.
Lately, he's been enjoying going to school. He gets along very well with his friends.
I'm glad to hear that. Did you say that he really likes his teacher? Miss Elena, right? She seems pretty young to teach.
Yes, I've heard from other moms that their kids like her too. She's still in her 20s, but that doesn't stop her. Other parents also love her very much. I really hope she can teach Conal again next year.
Me too. I'm always happy if Conal can enjoy his time at school.
But he seems a little lonely since you left. He asked me, when will Dad come back, repeated throughout the day.
Really? He's really grown up lately, but I guess he's still a kid at heart.
Is he the cutest? Either way, he's still our boy.
Tell him I'll be home as soon as I can. Also, it's good to have fun at school, but not cause too much trouble for your teacher.
I will definitely tell him. You take care of yourself too, okay? Drink a lot of water.
Thanks, you too. I know you'll take good care of everything while I'm away. Love you.
The next day.
I'm so sorry I didn't pick up the phone. We have a bit of an emergency here.
Where are you? I also have an emergency to deal with.
Believe me, what I have to deal with is worth it. Conal got into a car accident. I'm in the ambulance with this teacher right now. Go home as soon as you can.
Are you kidding me? What are you talking about?
No time to talk. Just hurry up.
No! You hurry up! Where are you?
I just told you.
Now I'm in the ambulance with Conal's teacher.
Huh? But you're on a business trip.
I can work short term and go home immediately.
Why were you there before me?
His teacher contacted me to say he was injured. Miss Alina is sitting right next to me.
Why didn't she call me first? The emergency contact number listed is our house number and then me.
She also cannot contact you, so she must act quickly. She used Conal's phone to contact me. And that's how I heard from her.
Good thing we bought him that cell phone.
She is quite upset that she cannot contact you.
How about your job?
I apologized to my boss and left. It's an emergency. I have no choice. Anyway, where exactly have you been?
This sounds like it happened a few hours ago. How is he in the ambulance?
Nothing but questions from you all this time. So what's wrong with you? Just answer me already. How were you there when you were on a business trip?
There's no way you could make it in time to get in the ambulance with him.
What? You don't know anything about what's going on, do you? Conal was admitted to the hospital a few hours ago. I went straight to the hospital when I got back.
So why are you in an ambulance right now?
We are currently being transferred to a larger, better equipped hospital.
All right.
What is happening to you right now? Why did you lie to me earlier? Where are you even right now?
Is Conan okay?
He is still unconscious.
So what does that mean? Please let me know exactly how his condition is.
I'm not a doctor. I cannot tell you more than that. If you want to know, just come here. Where are you when your own son is in critical condition?
I just got out of the house for a bit. Today Conal went to a friend's house right after school. So I thought that when it was time to pick up the baby, it was okay for me to leave the house.
Why don't you say that then? Why would you bother lying about it? Are you worried about me finding out that you left the house?
Unable to be there when my child needed me, I felt like a failed mother. I didn't even pick up the phone when I was contacted so desperately. And so I just said I was with him.
Miss Alina has been calling you constantly and you haven't noticed for hours. What could you have done that you didn't notice?
I'm sorry. Only now did I notice the messages she left.
Miss Alina was there when the accident happened and was with Conal the whole time. She is a huge help. She may even be more trustworthy than you are right now.
Please don't be mad at me. The only reason I lie is because I'm afraid you'll scold me.
You tried to hide the fact that you couldn't be on time by lying about it. It's almost like you're hiding something from me.
I'm not hiding anything.
You keep giving me vague answers whenever I try to ask where you were even. You are suspicious no matter how you say it.
Conal is more important now. Now is not the time to question me over something so stupid.
Is that what you think? You were the one who could not be reached while your son was hospitalized. Didn't I ask you to take care of everything before that while I was away?
I'm so sorry.
I don't need any more apologies. Just explaining what's going on.
I promise I'll explain everything later. Right now I just need to see my son.
I don't know what you're up to, but hurry up and get here.
2 hours later.
When exactly are you planning to come here? After all, how far have you come?
I won't come.
What?
I don't want to come.
Skip that already. Are you trying to get out of explaining yourself to me?
I know that no matter what I say, you will never forgive me.
What are you so scared about? Our son is fighting for his life while we talk. And you won't even be there for him as his mother?
I'm there won't change what happens. Preferably just you and Miss Selena there.
You are his mother. Miss Alina had to go back to school. Both the principal and vice principal replaced her. And you still refuse to come?
If I come, will you criticize me?
You're saying no just because you don't want to be yelled at. Whatever. Then don't come. Don't bother visiting him after this either.
No. It's not that I'm not worried about him.
But you are letting my fear of anger keep you from seeing your own son. What kind of mother are you? There's no point in even trying to convince you at this point.
Don't say that. At this rate, it would be better if you continued to scold me.
I don't have time to bother you. I will call my parents and ask them to come instead. Just stay wherever you want and never go back. At this point, I know I can't even count on your help.
I lied to you.
Just stay wherever you want and never go back. At this point, I know I can't even count on your help.
I have a lover. I was at an all-inclusive resort with him today. I forgot my phone when I went to the pool. That's why I didn't pick up the phone.
You went out with your lover while your son was hit by a car? You are the most vile person on this earth. I hope you can never look at yourself in the mirror after what you've done.
This is exactly why I didn't tell you.
You don't even notice when Alina and I call you constantly. How long have you been in that damn pool?
2 or 3 hours. The room had a private bathroom with a jacuzzi so I could go in and out as much as I wanted.
That's what happened. But isn't it like you were in the water the whole time? For you to completely forget about your phone, things have to really heat up with your guy.
When I go out, I see all Miss Selena's missed calls. And then I heard the voicemail about Conal's accident. I think you would be suspicious if you knew I wasn't at the scene, so I just lied about that.
So what you are willing to sacrifice everything to hide is your secret lover. All right. Go away and live happily with him.
Wait! Stay there! I just lied because I don't want to ruin my life with you and Conal.
I don't care. Why do you lie without any guilt? You and I are over.
I had no way of knowing that something like this would happen. This couldn't have come at a worse time. Why does this have to happen to our boy? If his teacher had followed him properly, this would never have happened.
The accident happened after school. It's not even on the school grounds. You can't blame the teacher for this. That's why I'm so grateful to Alina for running to Conal's side.
But if Alina had been with him all that time, the accident might have been avoided altogether.
Stop trying to blame her. That will happen after the police and school staff summons about the incident. Now, we have to deal with your whole mess. How long have you slept with this guy?
About 2 years.
How old is he?
22.
He is quite young. You met him while I was at work and Conal was at school. So you had an affair behind our backs in the first place.
I don't do that, okay?
You certainly did. Unfortunately for you, I'm not such a nice person that I can condone something like this.
I'll get on my knees if I have to. I will do whatever you say. So please forgive me.
In that case, I'll let you sign the divorce papers for me. When Conal recovers, I want you to disappear.
Please give me one more chance. Haven't I been your good wife all this time?
That is completely irrelevant now. During your marriage, you have never worked.
Why are you talking about that now?
I'm just wondering whose money you use to hang out. It's definitely not the money you make from your non-existent job. Ah, don't tell me you use my money to hang out with your lover, okay? Where did you meet such a young man?
He's from an escort company. He works at an upscale club next door, and I always ask him to serve me.
Did you hire an escort? Just when I thought you couldn't be more stupid. Where did you get that money? You didn't withdraw our savings, did you?
I'm so sorry.
We saved that money for Konal's education. You used it for your love affair.
I am afraid that he will abandon me if I do not continue to spend money on him. Where he works, they won't even notice you unless you order expensive food.
Do you think I care about that? You deceived me and stole our savings. There's no way back. I will also tell your parents about this.
Wait! Let me talk to them first.
If I let you do that, you will probably continue to lie to them. So I better do it.
I promise I will tell them the truth. Who do you think I am?
A scammer stabbed in the back. A dirty liar. A heartless woman.
Okay. I got it. You want to get rid of me, don't you? Yes, I want that too. Anyway, a younger, more handsome guy is better for me. I do not need you.
Great! Then we agree. And you know, you're still going to have to pay child support after this. And you should believe that I will talk to my attorney to try to sue you for everything I can.
Good, I will get your money.
Oh yes. From where? You haven't worked in years. Even if you work to death, it will only cover child support and living expenses. You will no longer have money for luxuries. Don't think that you will be able to continue living as you are.
However, I will figure something out.
Where does all this confidence come from?
My lover is kind and caring. He treated me like I was his princess. He reminds me of all the troubles of falling in love. With him, I know that I can live a happy life. So I don't care if you abandon me.
How long do you think you will continue to keep customers? After he quits as an escort, where will the money come from? Have you even talked about the future with this guy?
No, but I don't need it. He will support me.
How do you know he's not coming to you just for the money? I wonder if such a guy would really be willing to support you.
You know nothing about him.
You're right, I don't know anything about him. But it's still just a love story. If that's true, you won't always have to spend that much money on him. You're not even actually dating, your relationship is just client and escort.
So what do you think I should do? If you're going to throw me away, who do I live with?
Just return to live with your parents? There is no way that you can afford to live alone.
Once they know I'm cheating, they'll definitely kick me out of the house. You know what kind of man my father is.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you. Let's live in the park. I don't care.
There is one thing we still have to decide. Even if we break up, you'll still let me see Konal, won't you?
If Konal wants to see you, I'll let him meet. But when Konal gets a little older, I'll explain to him what you did to us. And then I will respect his wishes about what he wants to do.
What are you saying? Are you going to separate me and Konal? How dare you separate a child from his mother? Konal is my reason for living.
It doesn't matter what you say. You are the one who betrayed us in the first place. Don't try to act like such a loving mother when you won't even go to see him in the hospital.
You don't even have the right to call yourself mom.
I got it. I'm going to see him right now. It would be better if I came, wouldn't it?
Never mind.
There is still much that I can do for my son.
You let some guy distract you from taking care of your own son. What exactly can you do for him? You can't trust anything after you can't protect him. After that night, my son finally woke up. My wife still didn't show up until 3 days later. I ignored her, knowing that she was only here as an excuse. I focused entirely on taking care of my son. When Konal was able to go back to school, Callista and I divorced. I wanted to break up sooner, but I think things would only get worse if Konal's mother disappeared while he was still recovering. After the divorce, it seems that Callista tried to ask her lover for help. But as expected, he rejected her. Really, she was just someone he took advantage of. I don't think he cares about a homeless woman with child support and court costs. Conal did not have any long-term complications from the accident and returned to his happy school life. Above all, Conal was lucky enough to study with Ms. Alina next school year. After Conal leaves the hospital, she will definitely help him with his homework. And when I had to explain everything to Conal, she also gave him emotional support. She was even worried about my condition. She would ask if I was fine. When I received that letter from her, I ended up crying because I was so overwhelmed. I think I was also traumatized by everything that happened. She is someone my son and I are both deeply indebted to.